go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see Modesto. Hit your thought, I'ma catch those. Mexican, dummy pesos. Hit your sus, I'll replace those. Number save, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board like I'm keeping score. Ay, 16 cars in my front yard. Ay, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100 in the bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist, man, check the wrist, man. Got him hot, ayy. Man, can't ball like this, man. Lord, past the pig skin, but he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards. You just on your 5th grand. Run it up, 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 count it up. Ayy, 100s and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Ayy, she want it like me, cause her blame, she can't count on him. She try to be nosy and hit up my ex, she like, girl, you can count on him.
Hey, hey, we need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board like I'm keeping score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100 in the bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Here's Dalvin Cook, third year back from Florida State. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. On second down now, it's Cook. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Open man is Thielen, is complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 19 yards that time for number 19.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 32-yard line.
Check. Switch it. Come on.
A toss to Cook. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Now, this is a crew, they've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really have. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. Get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 26. Now the first-round pick from Alabama, Josh Jacobs. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. 24th pick in the spring by Oakland was Josh Jacobs. Only rushed for 640 yards last year at Alabama, but when you consider the offensive depth chart they had, it makes it understandable. So young, won't turn 22 until February, and they're really hoping that the veteran presence of 30-year-old Doug Martin can be a guiding light for Jacobs. On second down, Jacobs. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. From the gun, it's Carr. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
6-18.
Here's Carr to throw. Got his man. That's Tyrell Williams. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
Now, 180. 55, Mike. Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now. Check. Hey, 734.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The tackle goes to Harrison Smith.
One of my favorite safeties in the league is Harrison Smith. His ability to support in the run game, as we just saw there, that's key, but also can cover deep as well.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down in bounds. They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10.
Hey, 734. 54, Mike. Check. Walk 54.
Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35. Darren Waller, the intended receiver.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
Give them 18 there and give the Vikings a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Cook able to escape. That good for 22 and a first down. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They go play action. Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
From the red zone now, Cousins. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Maurice Hurst able to take him down. It's a loss of 3. But following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Cousins. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Marshall. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Carr over the middle, complete. It's Jacobs. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. Give him 7 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Now! 180! Hey, we're good! 180!
Shotgun now for Carr. The open man here, Renfro. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one goes for 30 yards.
A gain of 30. First down, Raiders.
The Raiders with the football here to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. After 7-0 on EA Sports. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Play action. Now it's Carr. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks.
It's
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he'll get it down here to the 43. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. Carr going to go on 4th down. He's got his man. It's Williams. And he's taken down inside the 30. Give him a 1st down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. Like Antonio Brown, Tyrell Williams came to the Raiders in March. Came up the coast from L.A., where he caught 41 balls last year with the Chargers. His best year was 2016 when the Chargers were still in San Diego. Over 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns, and the Raiders really have high hopes for this 27-year-old receiver. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Let's go. You tighten up.
Now Carr. And this will be caught. Tyrell Williams. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Tyrell Williams. His 2nd touchdown on the season. As they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he is going to be taken down inside the 5 at the 4-yard line.
Well, not exactly a banner return, so he doesn't give his offense a whole lot of room to work with. They've got to go a long way now to try and score some points. I do know this from experience. There will be a few comments muttered his way by the offense as they head out on the field.
Hey, we're good, we're good. Check, 59.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Cousins to throw it. The battle for it, and it's intercepted. Nevin Lawson with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now, 54, right there, right? 180. Hey, we're good, we're good. 180.
They'll run on first down. Jacobs. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. Now a first carry for their fullback. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, not a lot of flash and dash on that play. 2nd and 2, and they hand it to the big man, and he ends up picking up a first down. A little bit of gray area there, though, but I think what they thought, hey, we hand it to him here. If we come back and don't get it, we still got another down to try and pick it up.
Here's Jacobs. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yes, now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
Second and goal from inside the 5. Now Carr on the bootleg. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Hunter Renfrow, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Raiders have taken the lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. That 7-0 lead in there is short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for this.
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Cleveland Farrell in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Throwing is Cousins. Big hold to the 30. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And all the way up to the 33-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking win calls.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And he is going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. A nice first down pickup on a gain of 6. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. It's the linebacker, Brandon Marshall, there on the tackle.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Cousins now. It's brought in by Doxson. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter. 14-7. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. On the carry, it's Cook. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Come on, baby. Let's see what you got.
Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And not much running room. Down to the 32. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Check curls, check curls, check curls. Listen to me.
On 2nd and 7, Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Cousins now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. It's hauled in by Doxson. And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs. His first touchdown here of the new campaign as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Well, they got the extra point, and we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. There for the sack, Everson Griffin. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a time ball game here heading to break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. First half showed us some pretty good offense. tie game. We'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You've got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
From the 27, Carr, and that is incomplete here. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Operating from the gun, Carr. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. So a stop here defensively to start this third quarter. Just what's needed in a tie ball game.
Yeah, good chance to build back some momentum on the defensive side of the ball. In fact, what they've done is give their offense a nice push in the back as they get ready to take the field.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now a give running right, it's Cook. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
A dime look defensively for the Raiders on 3rd down.
Yeah, you're right. 2 extra DBs out there. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And they'll get this across the midfield stripe, but still winding up short of the 1st down. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And he's up past the 10 to about the 12. Mackenzie Alexander in on the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. That's taken it around the 40. That's a 49-yard punt, 8 though on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10.
1
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field,
he's got daylight. 20, 10, touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his second touchdown of the afternoon, as his guys are able to regain the lead. He's given him a little jolt, just gave him the lead there, but 2 TDs now in the game.
And that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality as they try to hang on to that lead. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Carr now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here.
6:37.
From the gun, it's Carr. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. A Raider first down, 17 yards.
Let's go.
It's a gain of 17 yards.
Carr now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. From the gun, Carr. It's Williams on the catch. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
He's airing it out for Williams. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And he is all the way up past the 25.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
A little bit of space there for the first down run, as that's going to get him about 5 yards. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 33-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Watch the screen.
To throw, Cousins. Escaping the pressure right. And now he's going to use his legs. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Carl Joseph came roaring in on the safety blitz. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
After the sack on first down, Cousins going deep for Diggs. It's caught inside the 25. Cousins finding Diggs on a big one. 46 yards.
But we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Josh Doxson, and it's second down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to...
It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Josh Doxson. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the lead now up to 14. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do.
The football comes out. Jacobs lost it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Let him know.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. Jones has it. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing now is Carr. He's got a man. It's Williams. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Tyrell Williams with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as his guys are back within a single score. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And they're within 7 now at 28-21. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Shifts by him. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this 3rd quarter. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. Lets it fly for Thielen. And got his man complete. Touchdown, Vikings. Kirk Cousins with 3 touchdown passes now in the afternoon. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
Now.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. Derek Carr, 3 fourth-quarter comebacks for the Raiders last year, and they only won 4 games total, so they've got some experience dealing with tight ones. Now Carr. His throw incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver, but it'll be second down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
Keep it up, guys.
Throwing again. Carr. The open man here, Renfro. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a third and a couple remaining. Here's Carr to throw. Man open left side. It's his running back with it. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A big play that time for the Raiders. And even 40 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. To throw, it's Carr. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Touchdown, Vikings! Dalvin Cook, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And they got the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
42, Raiders 21.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Carr defers to Jacobs on the draw. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with the draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
The Raiders on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Shotgun now for Carr. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35.
2 yards on the play.
They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Carr. He completes it to Jones. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Carr now on first down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts us down to a 3rd and about 5.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a run with Cook, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 49 line.
50, check my 50. Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field.
Cook. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Minnesota, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for Oakland, they will fall to a similar mark at 1-2. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.